So now let's go back to the position after knight c6, bishop b5, and black has another way of developing his pieces by playing g6. Once again, you have different ways for white to play, but I like bishop takes c6 anyway. Now basically what black has two options of capturing: d takes c6 or b takes c6, and b takes c6 is actually more ambitious but also much more dangerous. So let's take a look at b takes c6. White will castle, bishop g7 and rook e1. And once again, okay, now actually white's plan now is very straightforward, to play c3 d4. So basically if black will play move like e5 or something, c3 b4, c3 d4, and he's going to blow up black's center. So basically black will have to concede the center to white, and to play very carefully. So for example, now black will play move like knight h6, because where else to put the knight, because knight f6 might run into some e5 stuff or whatever. So knight h6, c3, castle, d4, c takes d4, c takes d4, f6, and black likes to put his knight on f7 on him, and to be very flexible, and at the right moment black wants to play somewhere maybe f5 or d5 or d6. He just simply wants to see what's going to happen. However, okay, white has the center, which is kind of nice for white, and so white will play something like b3. So knight f7, knight to b2, and you see white is going to put again his knight on c4, because it's a kind of good square for the knight, because if you play move like d5, at some moment the c5 square will be very weak. So black is playing d6, bishop d2, and okay, I think now black made a mistake by, okay, he's putting the bishop on an active place like a6, but I think it's probably better to play this move a5 first, and you will see what's the reason for that later on. So bishop a6, and now white is trying to get his knight to a5, and just to put pressure on this pawn on c6, because it's like now the weakest place in the black camp. So rook c1, rook c8, and now b4. And now you see what white wants. He wants just to get his knight to a5, and then just to keep pressure on c6. Okay, black has to do something. At some moment he has to get active, so he's playing this move e5. Okay, it's a good move, because, but on the other hand he doesn't threaten much. Okay, of course white cannot take on e5, because black will be happy to take with f pawn back on e5, but on the other hand black cannot take on d4, because white's knight will get to d4, and this is like a very nice square for the knight. So it's a difficult position somehow for black still. So after e5, knight b3, queen to b6, taking b4 pawn, bishop c3, bishop c4, and queen c2, and somehow, okay, white will get his knight to a5, and idea is of the white strategy is to keep a very good grip on black's position. So that's why this is actually quite hard for black to play, and actually quite nice to play for white, because you can keep on putting pressure on black.